Welcome to the Sisterhood of Limitless Living. I'm Dr. April Moreno, autoimmune wellness researcher and professional helping women around the world to live their best possible lives despite the autoimmune condition. Listen in as we speak on various topics about the autoimmune journey and interview amazing and inspiring women who are living and thriving despite their autoimmune condition. Let's get started. Today we're talking about the topic of financial wellness, and one of many topics within this subject of financial wellness. Today we're talking about employment and the types of employment opportunities that are out there. So when we think about the workplace, we often tend to think of like that 9-to-5 job, right? That full-time desk job, cubicle world, right? But there are so many more opportunities beyond that. And so today we're going to talk about all the different opportunities that are out there, especially as we consider autoimmune health challenges and knowing what is best for us. What is the workplace situation that is ideal for our particular needs so that we can continue to be part of gainful employment? So let's talk about some of the environments and settings and options that are out there as we look into financial wellness through employment, which is just one of the ways to pursue financial wellness. First of these options is that full-time employment opportunity. So we look at it as like what we used to call the 9-to-5. It's no longer a 9-to-5 position. These days we see it as a 9-to-6 because your lunch break is no longer included. You've got to work that full 8 hours. Right? And sometimes it's even longer than that. Sometimes people work these 12-hour jobs, 12-hour days, or with the use of email technology, it's like people can be on call like 24 hours a day. I've received emails in the past from my boss at like 2 a.m. So sometimes it just never ends when we're looking at full-time employment. So that is one option. As you can tell, I'm not a huge particular fan of it. We have to strategize and navigate and accommodate in a way that works best for us in a full-time employment setting. So it's not necessarily going to be a bad thing, but what's important is that it is beneficial for your health, and it's not going to be detrimental to your health and be beneficial for your financial wellness. So that's one option, the full-time opportunity. Then there's part-time, right? So sometimes if you look at part-time opportunities per hour, sometimes they end up being paying more than the full-time position. But I guess because of the fact that full-time jobs often include like health benefits and other sorts of things like that as part of the package. So instead of full-time, part-time is another opportunity that is out there for us. Maybe it's like working 15 to 20 hours, or maybe it's just anything that's less than 40 hours a week. So that is another option that's out there. Another opportunity that's out there is the option of temporary work. So maybe, you're looking at some temporary job opportunities just for supplemental income or just for a certain period of time. Maybe, you have a plan to do something different with the rest of your year, with the coming months. Maybe you're planning to spend some time getting some health care or some medication done, some kind of treatment done, or some kind of procedure done. So maybe a temporary employment opportunity is something that you're looking at. Then we start to go into some of my favorite topics, things like remote work opportunities. So we can look at remote work as an option. So there are, I think this is a growing field, So there are various websites out there, various organizations and services that are available out there to help you find a remote work opportunity. So these are jobs where, and it means two things, really. It can mean two things. Remote meaning in some cases where you just don't have a desk at that organization and they expect you to constantly be traveling. If you like travel, that's a great option for you. But you might be constantly at airports and traveling from place to place to meet clients and meet maybe other businesses and have meetings with them. Another remote opportunity is being able to just work from home, or just, not be tied to a specific physical location to get your work done. So those are remote work opportunities and options out there. Another opportunity I wanted to talk to you about is related to the temporary workplace. It's kind of like working with a temporary agency. So there are various temp agencies out there that often require you to take some kind of like typing test, software skills proficiency test, and things like that. And then they place you in a position of work. So it's a great opportunity in some cases, because sometimes they put you in this job where it's like a 2-week contract, or sometimes it's like a 3-month contract, and you can have the option in some cases to stay on. They may decide to choose to keep you full time and go ahead and recruit you as an employee after that period of time. So those are some great options out there as well, the temp agency positions that are out there. Another opportunity that's out there and that can be very useful for people living with autoimmune conditions is the option of working as a teacher online. There are some online teaching schools. There's a huge range of them. There's so many of them out there for teaching children in China, and they pay you by the hour, and you often get to choose your schedule, what hours of the day that you're available to teach. And that's an option for people who are good at working with children, who are basically beginning the fundamentals of the English language, the alphabet, learning to read, learning their ABCs even. So those are some opportunities that are out there. Another option is if you have the energy and you love to travel, being able to get out there and do an ESL, or English language teaching opportunity in a different country. So I've done one many years ago, for about 5 years or so, 6 years. I was teaching in Japan, and that was a wonderful opportunity when I was in my 20s. So it was a great experience. So these days, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Often, just with a college degree, you can get out there and find out more about teaching in South Korea, teaching English, or you can also teach in China as an option. And then some other other requirements at different companies, they may need for you to do like a TEFL, or teaching English as a foreign language, or the TESOL, TESOL exam, in order to qualify to teach there at other schools around the world, in high school settings or public school settings, or teaching at English language schools around the world. So those are some great opportunities that are out there as well. So it's really just about identifying what your health needs are and what types of jobs that would be beneficial for you, what setting, what environment, what schedule, and really working from there. So these are some great opportunities and options for you to consider, especially if you're living with an autoimmune condition or disability. What does that look like for you, and what kind of workplace would work best for you? So providing these options for you to consider in building up your financial wellness through the employment options out there. Thank you for listening to the Sisterhood of Limitless Living podcast. If you like what you heard, come and follow us and subscribe on iTunes, or give us a review. Also, you can join us on the Facebook group, The Sisterhood of Limitless Living, or come visit me on my website, aprilmorenophd.com. Take care.